This is the Washington Times front page for Veterans Day, Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. The Senate has passed a spending package to reopen and fund the government through at least January. Lindsay McPherson reports 8 Democrats helped Republicans reach the 60-vote threshold needed to clear a filibuster on the spending measure and also backed it on final passage. Those Democrats abandoned their party strategy to secure an extension of Affordable Care Act subsidies in the government funding package. Instead, they secured a promise from Senate Majority Leader John Thune that the chamber will vote on an ACA bill of Democrats' choosing no later than the second week of December. Democrats are debating whether Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer put up a valiant fight for his party or whether he led them to defeat as the longest government shutdown in U.S. history nears its end. Schumer is voting against the shutdown-ending deal, but his failure to prevent others in his caucus from surrendering on health care demands is leading some party members to call for his ouster. The House will come back into session to vote on the package this week. The Supreme Court will take up a case that could settle whether states can count mail-in ballots received after Election Day. Alex Sawyer and Stephen Dinan report the court agreed to hear a case challenging Mississippi's policy adopted during the COVID-19 pandemic, which allows mail-in ballots to be counted if they are cast on time and received within 5 days of Election Day. The Republican National Committee challenged the law, and a lower appeals court ruled against the state. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals said Congress must set a single day for national elections, and ballots must be cast by both voters and received by state officials. Mississippi appealed to the court, saying that if its law is illegal, then so are the laws in most other states. Marines are rightly proud of their first-to-fight reputation, but they're also first to celebrate, observing their landmark 250th birthday a day ahead of Veterans Day on November 10th. Mike Glenn reports retired Major General James Lukeman, president of the Marine Corps Heritage Foundation, joined about 1,000 fellow Marine veterans and their families to mark the day when the first recruiting drive for the Continental Marines was held at Tun Tavern, a popular Philadelphia bar. He said that for 250 years, Marines of all ages and backgrounds have exhibited the qualities that make the country great: selfless service, honor, courage, commitment, and personal sacrifice. In London, a leaked memo has revealed a BBC documentary misled viewers by editing President Trump's speech before the 2021 riot by his supporters at the U.S. Capitol. Mary McHugh Bell reports BBC executives have resigned, British lawmakers have defended the outlet and called for reform, a BBC official issued an apology, and Trump has threatened legal action in wake of the memo being disclosed. The documentary omitted a part of his speech saying he wanted his supporters to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. And finally, President Trump's surprise threat to launch strikes in Nigeria has put a focus on Africa as one of the most active international hotspots for the U.S. military. Ben Wolfgang reports the continent has become what the United Nations describes as the epicenter of global terrorism, supplanting the Middle East as the world's top breeding ground for Islamic extremism. More than 3,400 terrorist attacks were reported on the continent last year, resulting in nearly 14,000 deaths. Even with its modest footprint of about 6,500 troops across Africa, the U.S. is actively targeting terrorist groups there. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo, thanking all of those on this Veterans Day who have fought, served, or defended our country in the U.S. Armed Forces.